Michael.
And today we're going to talk about our top 10 games that we learned in October 2021.
That's right.
It's actually a pretty good month of games. I learned forty games. So
Wow.
that's not bad.
I think I only learned, I didn't learn as many as you did. I think I only learned in the 30s because I think you learned a few of them that I didn't play. So
Yeah, that's
we'll see if
true.
that shakes out in the rankings.
Yeah, and there were, let's see, 13 games that I rated 7.5 or higher. That's
Wow.
significantly good. So all
So
top
although it's not the
10.
best month, right? Although it's not the best month for number of games, it does seem like it was better quality of games.
That's right.
Yeah. Let's see. Out of all of the games I rated, I only think that there is one of them that you had already played previously.
Okay.
So,
That's not bad. I thought there were going to be more. I couldn't remember. I could think of one
right,
anyway. So I think I know what it is.
right. You might. I'm
I,
not gonna
I
say.
think I'm going to mention the games that just missed my list. Just because there
Sounds
were so
good.
many of them. That just missed the list were Air, Land, and Sea, the Critter Edition, which is basically the same game as Air, Land, and Sea, but with cute animals and colorful artwork. But I'm counting it as new, even though it's not really new, but it is because it has its own listing and everything. Another one that I learned last night was Savannah Park. Really cool game. Hopefully, I'll get that at some point so we could show it off on the stream. It has this like weird mechanic where like I pick a tile, like three elephants, and then everybody at the table has to find the three elephant tile on their board and flip it over and put it somewhere else on the board. And you're trying to make groups of like the animals. So people are manipulating your board with or without knowing what exactly you're trying to do. So that's kind of interesting. And then Rolling Realms just missed my list, which is a new Stonemaier roll and write game that I liked. So I think unless there's anything you wanted to honorary mention on your end, Michael, we can start.
Um, I had a few that barely missed my list. Metal Mania.
Oh, okay.
It's a really cool worker placement game that barely missed my list. Um, Tabanusi and Origins First Builders, both of them Euro style games. They barely missed the list. Both of them for slightly different reasons for each one, but both of them boil down to I'm not sure that there's not a dominant strategy in this, and I'm after playing them one or two times, I don't know how far I want to go down that rabbit hole, especially with one of the games I played twice,
Mm-hmm.
and it seemed like it was a similar strategy that won both times. So I'm not sure whether I would pick it over another one. That said, if you enjoy Euros, both of those are really
We're
worth taking
yeah,
a
we're
strong
trying to
look at.
see if you like them. I think we'll probably show Tabanusi on stream at some point. Not sure about Origins. That one I've now played twice, and I'm not sure it's for me. But I want to love it. You know, I like a lot of what it's doing, but there's just some mechanics in it that I'm just like, not really my
Yeah, see,
favorite. So
I went the military strategy, um, and you had told me that Rayner played the military strategy and destroyed everybody. So, um, I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether the other strategies are able to be played as dominantly as that, and and whether or not it is a dominant strategy. Just spamming that over and over didn't feel satisfying. So, plus I was trying to go almost to the top, but not quite to the top each time. You know what I'm saying? So I could get that two gold, two gold, two gold,
every
and I'd
time,
let
yeah,
myself drift back down every time. So
yeah, it makes
so
sense.
yeah. Um, but that said, I did enjoy the games that I played. I'm I'm not sure it's top 10 worthy for
Okay,
me.
that's
So
fair. That's fair. Indecision
Indecision
rights.
tried Root with the advanced setup. It was glorious.
Nice. Michael still
I've
hasn't
never
played
played
Root.
Root. Yeah.
Root was not for me.
I am looking forward to playing sometime.
People do like it. So there is
So,
that.
yeah, I know. It's like Wingspan. I hadn't played Wingspan, and then all of a sudden, I got a chance to play it
Yeah.
with Laura and Drew, and yeah, I thought it was great. So
I thought you were going
things
to like
like
that.
that you have played that I have not, that you know I'm probably gonna like. So
Yeah, a few
all
on my
right, let's
list. Yeah. Let's play.
go ahead.
Let's do this. Let's
Let's play.
go. No.
My number 10. You had mentioned that already is Rolling Realms.
Okay, so it made your
Actually, I
list. I
should
wasn't sure if it was going to make your list, so
Actually, I should put it like this,
it
not
it,
just
it would have
linked, but
been
the whole
number
thing.
11 for me. So it was right there alongside yours.
Right. So I like how it is a roll and write, and ultimately it all of the different roll and write realms has to do with another Stonemeyer game. So it's really cool how they integrate each of those in there, and even better, each of the realms is very thematic. um like between two castles you have to like fill up the two castles, and so I think scythe has the primary action, and then the secondary thing that you can do if you have the resources to do it. So I think I like how each of those works. um whether you're stacking things or making sets or doing different combos, I think it's really interesting how that works.
Yeah, I
So
think I think you did a really good job with that. I like how everything is like a mini game as well. Indecision Rights. Did you see the
right.
Terra Mystica card pack that they announced for Rolling Realms? I didn't know that, but
I
it
did
sounds
not.
sounds really cool. I didn't know
That's really cool.
that Terra Mystica had anything to do with Rolling Realms, but that's pretty cool if they could work together like that.
Oh,
I would check
oh,
it out.
yeah. Oh, Dr. Sign bought the Root Steam app.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll be really cool. So I should probably take a look at that, especially while the Halloween sale is going on. I'm not sure when that ends. That might end tomorrow at
Tomorrow is
noon
past
Central.
Halloween,
So,
so I feel like it should end today.
well, no, because all the Steam sales. Let me educate you a little bit. All the Steam sales end at noon Central Time. Noon. So you can't have it end at noon on Halloween before Halloween has actually started. Because
Yeah, you're
Halloween doesn't start
probably
till
right.
nighttime. So
You'd probably be
that's like
right.
having a Thanksgiving Day sale and stopping at noon. You don't do that. So your number 10
Number
is
10 Instacrime Casino.
Julie knows.
Julie knows.
Monday, November 1st, 2021, 1 p.m. Eastern.
Instacrime is a really cool game. It's a play once type of game where you're trying to solve the case by placing these picture cards in a timeline of sorts. I really like the concepts that are going on here. We actually played it with the chat on here on Twitch a few weeks ago, and I'm not sure it won everybody over. The ending was not terribly exciting. We were all like really into it, so we had a lot of working theories that could have been, and then it was kind of just like at the end, it was just kind of panned out. But I will always want to play the Instacrime games no matter what. I love the use of photography. I love what they're trying to do. I think with each game, it will get a little bit better. I think they'll work on the scoring as they develop the system a little bit more. So I'm still hopeful that they'll keep making more of these Instacrime games because I like what they're doing.
Yep. You will need to ban that person in the chat there if you would, Steph, because I cannot do it because I
Okay.
was not on chat at the time. and I can't do it from a computer.
Let me see if I can do it.
Hold
Um,
on.
okay, I
Yeah.
think I did it.
Yeah, you did do it. Good job.
I lost my chat, but that's fine.
So, what? You
Okay,
lost your chat.
it's fine. All right. Any comments on Instagram?
Yeah, so with Instagram, I think that they did take some of our suggestions to heart. I think that they could do a bit better job with the scoring by asking questions, sort of like what they do for Sherlock, but just having the additional picture element, I think, would set this apart from Sherlock. So I think that that's probably the best way to go
Yeah,
with
this is the
Instagram.
game you're thinking of, Julie. You played along with us. You were working with us to get the
Yep.
cards in order. Yep.
So it's sort of fuzz. The scoring is sort of fuzzy if they just say, "Did you have this theory right?" Well, if you mostly had it right, but you like missed a detail, did you get that point? Did you not get that point? It's hard to say. So,
Agreed.
but yeah,
They can definitely make it more like Sherlock to be uh, a more interesting scoring at the end, I think.
agreed. All right, my number 9
Number 9.
is a dubious pick because it
Oh,
is dubious.
my goodness. I really like this game.
Yeah,
Spoiler, it
so
will show up
with
later on my list.
dubious, yeah, with well, it might. With dubious, you are given a role and a special sort of, situation, I guess, um, or something special about you. And throughout the game, you are going to basically answer 5 different questions as if you were that person. Um, it's really difficult for some people to come up with, say, for instance, a Dixit story, like when they're playing Dixit. Um, but and that's why whenever I'm playing Dixit, a lot of people will just give like a 2-word description or a 1-word description of the card and sort of leave it all fuzzy. There's no story being told in that case. And that's fine. It works that way if that's how you play Dixit. Um, but with this, you really don't have to come up with a story much. You just have to say a sentence that relates to it or answer the question. It's like, where would you most likely be at night? And you would say what you'd be doing. Like if you're the innkeeper, you would say, I'm offering hospitality. And that's all you have to say. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
so,
but so what makes this game great is that you are given a role and a secret, and you want to try and
the
have
secret, that's what I
people
was thinking of. Something
guess
special.
what you are and what your secret is. And there's like a list of everything that it could be, so it helps. And you're trying to clue people in. So if your secret is, I stabbed a witch or something, then you could be like, at night, I like to have my hospitality, but sometimes I go out searching for evil beings or something. I don't know. You have to try it. You have to try and be clever with what you're
Like
trying to clue in.
you had bought a cursed sword,
I had a cursed sword.
and you had mentioned something about tripping recently, and
Because
I
I was
was
like,
I
what
was
kind of shoes do
cracking
you
up.
wear? What kind of shoes do you wear? I'm like, I wear metal, like hard tops, but I've been tripping a lot recently. Because I've been
And I was like,
cursed.
I got you.
I got you. I know exactly what you're doing. And so it's funny, but so they do a really good job with overlapping things where so it's not completely obvious that I am the guard or I am the berserker or I am the whatever, because there's a lot of things that the way the answers go, it could be this or it could be this. So you're trying to deduce what everybody is. So it's really interesting. It's definitely, I might have to bring that around to like BGG Con and stuff because I think
Oh, for
people will
sure.
want to play this, and I think it's going to be a pretty good con game.
I think so too. Here's the thing: you want so just like with a lot of those the same sort of games like Dick said, you want a lot of people to guess what you are, but not everyone to guess who you are. And I tend to not like games like that, but this one really works.
Yeah. It's like a role
Um,
playing deduction game because you are trying
yep.
to get into the role and trying to answer the questions as if you are this character. But you don't have to, like Michael said, you don't have to know a whole story. You don't have to have a whole backstory. You can, but I'm not good at stuff like that. But I can understand what my role would be if I was actually playing, as a
And you
guard.
could answer, yeah, you could answer one question.
Yeah, I mean it's not like pressure or anything. It's just like, oh,
Answering
okay,
questions, yeah, like answering questions to me is a whole lot easier than coming up with something just blank
off the
slate.
top. Yeah.
Um, like the worst things in the world is like whenever my English teacher would say, write an essay, your choice, or pick a research paper, your choice. I'm like,
Okay, great.
uh,
Thanks.
if you tell me to compare and contrast the differences between Hamlet and something else, I'm like, I'm on it. You ask me a question, I can do it. But yeah, don't give me a blank slate because I will wander. If there's no box in which to play, I really have a problem. Ask me a question, I got it. So
Yeah.
anyway, um, with dubious, to me it seemed like I knew exactly what James's role was, and that he was way too obvious.
I had no
Yet
idea.
someone, yet
I
someone
had no
didn't
idea.
get it.
I'm
Steph.
like, because I was
Um,
thinking that Julia was one of his roles. I'm like, so
right,
I
but
wasn't
I think
even
that's
thinking about it for him. I'm like, I have no idea.
but I think that's the good part about this game is that um, you can be a little sneaky, or you can even be as blatant as you want to be, and you still might not be guessed by everybody.
That's right.
So, not just one part, but both parts were not guessed by everybody. So, um, it could have just been a stroke of luck, but yeah, he managed to really do well that game because he got a lot of people guessing, but not everybody. So,
Me.
and that's exactly the sweet spot you want to be.
Yes, dubious. Wonderful game.
Dubious. So,
Probably be
yep,
talking about it in a second.
that is my number 9.
Your number 9. My number 9 is Yummy Yummy Monster Tummy. Okay, this game sounds pretty much ridiculous, like clearly a kid's game. However, uh, it is amazing fun. I absolutely love this game. I made them all play 5 times on Thursday. There is an
So,
adorable app
it is
that is
absolutely
used.
adorable.
It is from
I was
Lucky
going to
Duck
pull that
Games.
app up.
It's so Lucky Duck is really good with their apps, and I can't really see it. It's super bright.
It is super bright.
Anyway, there's different
I don't think I
levels.
could do it.
Yeah, it's really bright. There are different
Yep.
levels, but this is a color mixing game. And we're not just talking primary colors here, we are talking the full spectrum of all things colors. And we are trying to work together as a group of gamers who are throwing in these colors to try and make the matching color of the monster on the app. Then the card, everybody scans their cards, and it will mixture all of our cards together, all of our colors, to get a color monster, and then it will rate us how well we did in matching
So
the color
monsters will eat
monsters.
socks, they will eat plungers, they will eat underwear, they will eat anything.
But
They will
vegetables,
except they don't like eating things
vitamins.
with vitamins.
Yes.
And if like vegetables, any sort of vegetables or fruits they don't like. So if you feed them a vegetable, the next 3 cards cannot be vegetables or you've lost. So, um
Who does
yeah,
really?
Dr.
That's
Stein
right.
says, who does really? If we were supposed to eat vegetables,
Uh,
God would have made them taste better, right?
right.
Am I right?
Yes.
So,
Um.
um, but yeah, it's super cute. not only do you have to match them by the color, which sometimes you really can't do with the cards you have in your hand, but not only do you have to match them by color, you got to match them by intensity and shade. So if it's a light color, you want to have some little whites and grays in there. You don't want to have the dark colors or the blacks or the dark browns in there. So,
It's
um,
really, really clever. And I can
and
honestly
the app
say
scores you.
the app will score you. It's like magic. It's like it blends all the colors perfectly, and you'll get a score. And you can play on medium level difficulty, or whatever, easy, medium, hard. I think it is. And yeah, honestly, this game is totally a keeper for me. Anything with this much color and color combinations, it's really cool. And for me, I was not expecting that when I opened the box, so I was very pleasantly
Yeah, you were
surprised.
not expecting top 10 for sure.
I wasn't, honestly, but here we are.
Here we are in your top 10, even though it was a game we played really recently.
Yes.
Um, we might be able to play this with the chat. I am not sure yet. I'm going to try to think of a way to do it.
The yummy, yummy monster tummy.
Yeah, I'm going to maybe we might be able to play it even with 2 players, but I'm going to see if there's a way we can play it with the chat.
Yeah. Cool.
So,
What is your number 8?
my number 8 is the same as your number 8.
Oh, really? How about
It
that?
is. It is
Bequest.
Bequest. So, go ahead and you want me to talk about it? Or you to talk about it.
No, I'll talk about it. So Bequest is a I split you choose card set collection type of game. I actually played it again for a second time yesterday, which was great. And it's on TTS if you have that, and you can check it out. But what happens? There are 5 rounds, and each round everybody draws 5 cards, and then these cards you'll split into 2 groups and hand them over to the next player. Once everybody's done this, you will look at the stacks that are handed to you. Choose one of those stacks that Michael sent me. I choose one of them, and then the other player, whoever I'm passing to, will select one, and I get whatever cards I get, and I flip those up, and I'll start collecting these different items and different gadgets and things. And some of them are keys, which will offer up cool schemes that will score at the end of the game. Everything scores at the end of the game. So you're trying to do your best in all of these different categories. It's actually a pretty light set collection game, but where it shines is in the choices that you're making for I split you choose, and what you could possibly get in return, what you think they're going to take, what you might get, and how you're going to draft the cards that are being given as options for you to choose from. So I mean, you obviously felt the
Fortunately,
same
you're
as
not.
me because it's a number
You're right.
8.
Right. So you're not giving to the same player each time. You're going clockwise one time and then counterclockwise
That
the
actually
next
makes a
time,
big
back and
difference,
forth.
by the
It
way.
really does. So it's not just normal set collection. There are some things that so in a game there are exactly as many cards per player as like there's always going to be 5 cards per player. So if you're playing with 4 players or 6 players, it doesn't matter. You're going to have the same number of cards, and there's going to be number of players minus 1 keys. And the keys will allow you to open one of the specials in the middle of the board.
That's right.
So if I have done the I split you choose and I have key number 1, I'm going to get first choice. Key number 2 is going to get second choice. Key number 3 is going to get last choice in a 4-player game. But if there's 5 players, it's going to be a key number 4. It introduces, that you'll introduce. There's a little number in the corner of the cards that you'll have to sort out the 3-player and the 4-player and the 5-player cards if you're going to play with different player counts.
Yeah.
So I think what's cool about this is that some of those special cards will let you sell cards and make them treasures. Some cards will let you discard treasures to draw more special cards off the top. Sometimes you are trying to collect space lasers or cannons, or what's the other one? There's like 3 different types of things you can collect where you're trying to go
Batteries?
deep in a set, or yes, power cells.
Power cells.
Yes, or solar arrays or something like that.
Something like
So
that.
with some things you're trying to get sets of 3. On some of them you're trying to go as deep as possible. You're also trying to get Western hemisphere domination, and Eastern hemisphere domination. And they each have different scoring capabilities. So, like I think with Western, you get 15 points if you are stronger than either of your neighbors by the side, and you'll get 10 points if you're stronger than only one of the neighbors. Eastern's a little different. You get 20 points if you're stronger than both, but only 5 if you're stronger than one. So they they do the set collection thing well. They do the I cut you choose thing really well. Oh, and they have evidence. If you have less than 3 evidence, or 3 or fewer evidence cards, I think it's fine. If you have more than 3,
No, it's 3 or
it's
more.
minus, oh, 3 or more, it's minus 3 points apiece.
Yeah, so there's
And there are
also the asymmetry cards that will have different
asymmetric
players.
player powers.
Yeah,
Yes.
Dan did not like the one that you
So
had.
why?
He said it
It's
was just
wonderful.
like easy for him just to take all the evidence cards, so we didn't have to.
Oh, well, see, then he didn't play it right. What he needs to do is he needs to strategically do his the I cut you choose, and try to load up the things you want with a bunch of evidence cards.
Right, that's what I would do.
Because yes, you can take them. And James reluctantly took the one card, and I took the 4 cards. Yeah, I tried, didn't work. Sorry, Dan. I did really well with it. So sorry, Dan. So yeah, I think Big Quest really worked for me. It worked for you. It might not have worked for Dan, but he says the hemisphere scoring seems dominant. It was a minor part of our game, to be honest. So, um, well, with the hemisphere scoring, if you have 1 more than your neighbors or 6 more than your neighbors, it really doesn't matter. So it really depends on who's collecting what at the table.
Yeah.
So if you focus too much on that, then you've collected 6 cards for 20 points when you could have been getting a bunch of 3 points or 4-point cards times those same 6 for sure things, and not a possibility at 20 points. So
I hear what you're
Dan
saying,
barely got in on it.
Dan, but then you have to go for gadgets. If you can't get in on the
Exactly.
you get in what you can get in. And,
Yes.
And forget what you can't.
Agreed. You don't have to get in on hemisphere scoring at all. Then in that case, you hope that the other person's left or right neighbor is like trying to crush it. So,
It
and
could have
then
just been the game we had, Dan.
they'll give your neighbors a run even when you can't. So
I liked it in any case.
So that was both of our number 8.
Number 8. Yay.
My number 7 is Fantastic Factories.
Nice.
So dice worker placement. I love dice worker placement. And in Fantastic Factories, you are rolling your dice in order to get materials and to draft buildings that will make your factory larger and larger, and you will hire specialists. But all of these things that you are getting will require you to spend cards or resources or both. And some of the cards have to be activated with dice. And so the more things that you can activate, the more goods you'll get, which goods are basically victory points. You'll get victory points from the factory cards that you make. And ultimately, if you build the best engine, literally, then you will win. So
it's a nice little game. Lalbatross says the game seems to be very well received. I don't think I heard any bad reviews yet. I mean, so there's nothing really bad to say about it. Like the game is solid. It might not be for everybody, but I honestly don't think that anything is wrong with the game or anything like that. And I think it's pretty cool. It's dice manipulation, and it's easy to get into. So
Yep. Now, I don't think it does anything groundbreaking.
no, but
That said,
it's good.
there are no problems with it, and I would readily choose this game
Mm-hmm.
for a really quick dice worker placement game. There are also 2 expansions that we haven't yet had the joy of trying out, but hey, that's coming
On
up.
the to do.
So,
On the to do.
and we have a really beautiful mat that goes with it.
Oh
So,
yeah, it's really nice.
yeah,
My number 7 is dubious, as we just discussed.
that's a dubious pick.
God, I really like this game. I wasn't really expecting to like it because it was told, so it was it was sold, quote unquote, sold to me as a storytelling game, and I think that will actually turn more people away than get people in with something like that as a descriptive word. So I would rather say it's a deduction game with a role playing element to it. Because you are
Role playing scares people away as
I
well.
know,
You don't even have to role play it.
you don't have to, but you are trying to
I think it's
understand
straight
a
deduction.
character. I agree.
Yes.
So you are creating this character in your own mind, right? So you are trying to think of how this character would react to these questions. So it has a little bit of role playing, a little bit, but yeah, it is more of a deduction, trying to figure out what everybody's doing and trying to be and everything like that. So I really, really enjoyed this game. So it's really cool. I think it's set to be released in 2022, so it's not even like readily available or anything. We got like this.
I've got a really good idea.
What?
I think we should create a special module called Defubious. where we can
Colorfly, are you out there?
Scott said it is 2022.
Yeah,
no, not
this
yet.
is a release.
No, see, we could have all the different roles. We could have different secrets, but all of the roles would be like Defoob and Colorfly Girl and Fatty and you and me and all of the people that normally stop by.
Julie.
And the secrets, Julie. We would have Julie in there, of course. And for the secrets, we could be secretly wants to be a rock star, enjoys playing with puppets, all sorts of things like that. I think it would be fantastic. Defubious. I'll take my standard 13%.
Special creation of this game. We'll have our own scenario. Well, it's cool because this game actually has several different variations that you can play. You can play with like modern or fantasy or what was the other one?
Defubious.
Now it's Defubious. Yeah, that's the 4th one, but I don't remember the 3rd one.
That's the 4th one. Shade Schmexy, Shade Schmexy, Shade Schmexy.
Oh man, that'd be great. All right.
Secret wants to be a Schmexy snowman. Wants to throw shade and eat bricks.
It's called Turquoise.
Turquoise. Nice. So, Defubious coming in at number 7.
No, it's dubious.
Oh, dubious. Defoob secretly wants to be able to roll like Colorfly. Nice.
That's so funny.
Hold on a split. All right. Gotta turn off the mic whenever that happens.
100% agreed.
I love my girl said 100%. Did you hear what we
Defubius.
said? Defubius.
Coming in at number 7.
So, coming in at number 7, Defubius. Number 6 is Rome from Red Raven Games. Oh, Julie texted them. So Rome is not a normal game from Red Raven. It is set in the same world as Above and Below and Near and Far and Now or Never in the land of what is it, Arzium. And in this game, this is more of a tableau building type of game with a little bit of abstract placement going on. So in this game, you are basically start off with a symmetric set of characters, and when you place when you activate one of your asymmetric characters, you're going to place a certain pattern on the cards that are on the board. Once you have completed a set of once all of the squares on one of those cards have been completed, you're going to see who has the most of the little dots on that card. And if it's tied, I think it's what current player gets it or something. Whoever was the one to activate it gets it, I believe it is.
Yeah, whoever gains the control of the card, whoever has the most influence on the completed
Right,
card
but I was talking
will
about
gain
tied.
it. Then you have to bid for it.
Oh, that's right. I remember. So yeah. The really cool thing is that the things with low victory points give you really good placement combinations when you activate those characters in the future. The things with really high victory points have really small or hard to place placement things. So, like, you might have one that's worth 5 victory points, but only puts 1 pip on the board. You might have something that gives you 1 or 2 victory points that puts 4 or 5 different things out. So, those will help you get more characters. So, you have to ask yourself, do you really want to fight for this one, or do you want to go for something completely different?
It's true.
So, plus, at a certain point, you're not going to want to help the other player complete that card because all it's going to do is give that other player some better powers or give them victory points. So I think that there's a lot going on here with the abstract placement on the cards on the grid of cards. So and once I can't remember what the victory condition is, but
10
once you have a
cards,
certain
10
number of cards,
characters.
yeah, 10 characters, then the game is over.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like this a lot more than you did. But I would like to play it on the stream.
I liked it just fine.
So,
I think it's a solid game. I'm not sure how much replay value there is for me without getting samey. But I'm happy to play
I think
it
that
again.
comes from the mix of cards. So, depending on where things are placed on the board, something might be easier for me to get than for you to get because although Steph and I might have the same exact cards at the start of the game, when I place something in an L and she places something in an L, it's going to look different. She has to place it as an L on her side. I have to place it as an L on my side. And so it has to come from that direction. I can't rotate it or anything unless I have a special power that lets me do so.
Right.
So something might be easier for me to get than it would be for her to get, if that makes sense. Anyway,
all good.
certainly worth checking out. It is not certainly not as deep as Above and Below or Now or Never, Near and Far, but it is certainly worth checking out in my opinion.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
that is Rome.
Yay! What, my number 6?
Hey, your number 6 time
is hey, we just talked about it. Fantastic Factories.
Hey, that makes it easy.
So yeah, it's really
Anything else?
nice. I like the dice worker placement aspect of this game and trying to make the cards in your tableau work. I hate and love that you have to like pay for the cards to get them into your tableau, but you have to pay cards in your hand to play cards in your hand. Like,
Yep.
I hate when
Well,
they
I mean,
make you do that.
cards is a resource, so
Yes, cards is a
whether
resource.
you pay metal and you pay energy, but the one thing people forget is that sometimes you have to pay cards for activating, like if you activate the trash compactor or the recycler or just building factory pieces, they're all going to cost you cards.
All the
So,
cards. It's hard. It's really hard.
all the cards.
We're playing another game that costs cards too. What's the other game? Is there another game?
But
I really thought we just played a card game that in order to play cards you needed to spend cards. Now I'm having a brain fart, but anyway. When you have to pay cards from your hand, it is always painful because you don't want to like get rid of all your cards because you want to use them, you want to build them, you want to and so that's always the hard choices. So,
absolutely.
it's a nice game.
Well, hard choice. You want to give hard choices. You don't want to give your players everything that they want.
That's right.
So, if it's easy choices, then there's no real choice to be made.
Yes.
So, number 5 is the one where you burn to death, Steph. Is the hunger.
Oh my god, I just will always forever lose this game. I will never win. I will never score. I will never anything this game, but I will play it.
So, in the hunger, you are a vampire and you are going out into the world, leaving your castle, going through the graveyard, going through the mountains, going off into the plains, and grabbing villagers along the way and eating them. Here's the problem: the more villagers you eat, the more points you get, but the slower you start going. So, unlike normal vampires who tend to get stronger with the more blood that they drink, these tend to just get fat and happy and get slower and slower and slower. So, when you go out and you collect a villager off in the mountains, they'll give you some victory points. In the plains, they'll give you some amount of victory points plus 1. If you can get them way out in the forest, then they're going to be worth some amount of victory points plus 2. And that, at the very end of the forest, is where one of the roses is kept. And if you can make it to the labyrinth at the end of the forest and you can pluck a perfect rose, vampires are romantics. And you want to get that rose, and it will help you get back. But
it
what happens if you don't make it back, Steph?
It doesn't help you get back.
I made it back.
Yeah.
I picked a rose and I made it back.
Must be nice.
So, you'll go out to the end and then you'll start making your way back. And so you'll draw three. It's a deck building game, and you'll draw 3 cards at a time, and you'll go that number of speed, and then hunt with whatever speed is left. And you'll keep drawing 3 cards and drawing 3 cards. Here's the thing: humans have no speed on them, so you will draw 3 cards,
No,
and
not
every
true.
one of those cards.
Little Boo.
Most of the cards.
Little Boo has
Most
speed.
of the cards have no speed.
Little Boo, because the smaller the infant, the better the blood, right?
Oh, I guess. I don't know. I've never eaten a baby before.
I suppose that's good. Yeah. This may or may not be on my list in a little bit, but I quite enjoyed this experience.
Imagine David Attenborough narrating Dracula. Here we see a young male vampire stalking his prey. So,
it's fine. Don't worry about it.
So, yeah, the big ball of fire that is in the sky, it burns us and we hates it. And if you can get back to at least to the cemetery, you can run inside and lose some victory points, but you're still going to be okay. If you make it to the castle, you're going to get bonus points. If you don't make it to the graveyard, you're up in a puff of smoke. So.
Oops.
And so there are different end game scoring bonuses that you can pick up, but you have to stop at the crypts along the way. You're wanting me to fix my screen here.
Maybe. Uh
there
oh.
are there are various. It'll fix. Well, it did fix, and then it didn't. There you go. So there are different in-game scorings that you can get along the way. You will take everything from a crypt and you will look through them and you will put back that number minus one. That could also mean that you take multiple from that crypt and put all the ones you had in that crypt. So you can change your victory point
Missions. Yeah.
chasing that way. If you like, if you take something that you're trying to look for a bunch of henchmen and you don't find any henchmen, you can say, I'm getting rid of all these henchmen scoring goals and taking all of these. So, and I've had to do that before. So, anyway, there's a lot going on, and but it's not a heavy game at all. So, certainly worth checking out. The Hunger.
The hunger. Hi, Panic.
So,
Hi, Time Roller.
hello, Panic. Hello, Time Roller. So, do you have anything to say on that, or you want to wait till later? Maybe.
Probably wait.
Probably wait. All right. Um,
Where are we at?
your number 5
Number 5. Is it
is my number
is it
4.
your number 4?
Yes.
Yay! Now or never. It's now or
Very
never.
cool. So
Um,
another Red Raven game.
yes. This game I think is set to be released early 2022 or delivery to backers in the coming weeks, something like that. I think we got a
Yeah, it looks
pre-production
like
copy that we will be playing
yes.
on Wednesday. Um,
Yes, Q1 2022.
yeah, that's what I thought. Like
Red Raven
early,
Games tweeted that that
early
game will
2022.
release.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is pretty cool. I do think that Above and Below in this series, this like trip series, was probably the weakest of them all. And this one has actually a lot going on. Now or Never has a lot going on in it. However, the actual actions in which you're doing each turn is pretty simple to understand. It's like you're either going to activate a specialist or you are going to move on the board. It's just a matter of figuring everything out in between all the other things. And so you're trying to build up your little tableau of buildings and gain villagers to give you income. And there's only 6 rounds, but a lot happens in that 6th round. And so like you're moving on the boards, trying to beat monsters, gain rewards, go deliver quests and fulfill tasks and all these different things that are happening. And so again, amazing artwork because Ryan Lockett is very, very good at art.
Amazing.
Yes, I really love the.
Very good at art is
He's
an
very,
understatement.
very, very good. He's very amazing. Yes, he's great.
Yes.
It's really, it brings you into the world that he's creating. So I think it's really nice. And so, you won't be let down by that. So I mean, I really liked it. I think I liked it a little bit more than you, even though it's higher on your list, Michael. But
Oh, I don't know.
I don't
Um,
know.
so it's got resource collection, which is fantastic. Um, in addition, each of the buildings that you place on your grid will house one villager, unless there is a bed in that facility, whether it's an inn or a factory or whatever. One person can stay in each house unless there's a bed, in which case you can fit multiple villagers in. You are trying to collect sets of villagers on each level and fill up each of the each of the rows. So you're going to get points for filling up the rows with buildings. You're also going to get points for filling up that row with villagers of different types. So once you have placed a villager, the villager won't want to be taken out of that house. After all, they live in that house now. So you wouldn't want to be kicked out of your house and be put into another house, would you? So you could collect the villagers and not place them in a house, but once you place them in a house, they're going to stay. But those villagers will also generate you resources. And the more villagers and resources you have, the more things you can do, and the more monsters you can fight, etc. So, fighting monsters will give you villagers. Um, but once those monsters are gone, like if I kill the easiest monster twice, there's not going to be any of that level of monster for Steph to get. So she's got to go up against something harder. So, but maybe she can't go after something harder, so she has to go to a entirely different way. Maybe she starts collecting a bunch of resources. So there are lots of different paths to victory in this. And to do all this, you're having to go all over the map. Some of the places on the map will let you trade some resources in for others, or will let you trade in certain buildings on your grid. You've got buildings on a grid that you're building, and you have to take them from certain spots when you place them in your tableau. So what's available to me might not be available to Steph. So, and that's going to
Tricky.
be different every game. So, yeah. Hello, Scott.
Hello.
Scott's like, if I had to live in your house after being kicked out, I mean, we got all the games. So I'm sure Spezia would be very happy living here.
It's true. All right, that was Now or Never. We'll be streaming
So,
that
yeah.
on November 3rd, right here on Twitch.
Yep.
So
And
join us.
I agree with you completely. I was not thrilled with Above and Below. I think I had set myself up more to enjoy it like I enjoyed Tales of the Arabian Nights, and it just seemed like a mismatch of stories that did not fit the locations. Um, I I much preferred Now or Never and Near and Far to Above and Below. Like they were as different as night and day, you could say. See
Mm-hmm.
what I did there?
I see. Not a game in the series. Not
Not
yet.
a game in the not yet. So, um, Panic says I like Above and Below for what it is. I like playing it in one sitting. That's cool. Yeah, just I nothing really drew me after the one play. I was like, okay, I've played it.
Yeah, that's what happened with me.
Um, as
But
that's interesting because like we didn't play it together. We played it totally separate times. So
yeah, I played it when it first came out a while back.
yeah, yeah.
So that brings me to my number 4. Is that you're also number 3?
It is my number 3. I'm
My number
typing that in
4
right now.
and your number 3 is Near and Far, which I
Hey,
guess
it's a Red Ravens month, isn't it?
we both like this one slightly more than Now or Never, though I'm not sure it's gonna stay that way. I've only played each of them once, so anything could really happen. But I do think what Now Near and Far has going for it is that it has the big book of stories and it has a big exploration book. So the explorations that you're doing with the interaction of the exploration book is more cohesive than, for example, Above and Below.
And I think that that's what's going to make this game shine much more than Above and Below, where the stories correspond with the book. Um, I think that that will fix the whole storytelling element for me 100%. Plus, just the fact that there's a bunch of different pages in the book,
Yeah,
it's
you
going to
can.
keep it fresh.
Yeah, I agree. I like that he's using like the sideboard for like the town actions. It kind of reminded me of City of Iron, which I'm not actually sure you've played, but that was one of his earlier titles that I did like. Um, uh, and I would play that again someday. But it's just like, oh, okay. I see that. I see him pulling in different ideas that he's had over the years into these new games. So I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, for now, I think Near and Far is probably my favorite of the 3. But we will be playing Now or Never again on Wednesday, and we'll play it with Rome, and then another time we'll play Near and Far, just because I think all 3 of those games in one night will be there till dawn. They're kind of
We will
long,
see.
but yeah,
We will see.
we'll see.
So with near and far, you're either in town taking a town action,
Yeah.
and you can't go where someone else is. So I think ultimately this will even be a better 3 and 4 player game than it is a 2 player game. Though we had a great time
I'm
playing at
not
two
sure. I
players.
don't need a whole lot of interaction with other people in my games, and so
Right. Except
you
the
can go
duel
to
the
you can go to a space with other people. You just have to duel.
Yeah, but then you can't do all of the actions if you do not duel. The good thing about dueling is you usually don't want to do that unless you're fairly sure you can win it, and the person who is dueled against does not lose anything. So, um, I, the take that is greatly mitigated. So I like what I like what it's doing. Um, so you do the town action, that's the near part, or you send your guy out to do the far actions, and at any time you can come back to the city and do a near action. But if you do more far, you can continue out farther and farther and farther, as long as you have the, what is it, the courage points to do so, the heart
Yeah,
to
it's
do
hard.
so.
Yeah.
um and I really like how the mechanic seems to work. So
Yeah.
definitely looking forward to trying this on the stream. So
Yeah.
yeah, my number 3,
All right. My number three
and your
is.
number 4.
Oh yeah, that was my number four. Your number three. My number
Yep.
three is actually one we just talked about. The Hunger.
Despite the fact that you have never made it back without turning into an ash heap.
And I
Um,
know I never will. I'm never gonna like win this game, and I've come to terms with that. But there's like always like that one game, if somebody there's a question, what's the game that you will never win, that you never win, but you still always enjoy playing, and that is this game. There
that will be
is
this.
this is like a big scale deep sea adventure game with like deck building. But like essentially you go out, you pick up treasures or blood, and then the more blood you have, the more people you have eaten, the harder it is to get back. It's like it is deep sea adventure. You're going out, you're trying to get points, you're trying to make it back. It's like a
Carrying back their life essence in
yes.
your body.
That's
Oh,
right.
I've had
I
so
had such a
many
great
mortals.
dinner tonight, guys. Let me tell you. But no, it's like it's a whole lot of push your luck. I mean, can I make it back? Will I draw the right cards at the right time? Or am I going to draw that human that sets me back 4 spaces? Okay, that's a problem. So
Okay, yeah. So like, there's the there are humans in there that when you eat them, it's fine. When you draw them, it's either there's a beer icon, which means you'll go 4 spaces away from your castle,
which is good if you're
which is
going out
fine.
in the beginning of the
It's
game.
good if you're going out, and then it's gonna pull you back each time when you're trying to
No,
get back before the
I
sun
have
comes
a
up.
new strategy next time we play, so we'll see what happens next time.
And there are some of them with a little chili pepper on it, which means they're spicy, and you have to run to the well and drink from the well that turn. So yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah.
You could literally win this game if you don't push your luck so far.
I mean, so yes and no. You need to push it a little bit. Otherwise, the other person will probably win. Maybe not to
So
the
funny.
extent of what I do, though. So there's that.
Maybe.
Maybe. All right. That's good. Everybody play it. Love it. It's fun.
Everybody play it. So remember what I said when I saw your top 10 list,
Oh yeah, we
and
had the same number two.
I said that we have a lot of overlap this week. I mean, this month we really do. We rarely have this much overlap. But number 2 is Cloud Age.
Cloud Age. Yes. So Alexander Pfister, he always has like a clever idea with cards. And every game he has cards, there's always like a neat mechanic. And this time, the mechanic here, there's a couple of them actually, is that there's a card with a number on it, but with hidden resources. So we're gonna be like trying to figure out which resources we want from a card. But then once you have a card, you'll be drawing two cards, keeping one for the top movement of your ship. So there's like different uses for cards in this game and all of his games really. So I really enjoy that first of all, but I also
So yeah,
enjoy
you're going to get the card with the number on it.
yeah
You're just not sure what immediate resource you're going to get or
slash
what your
benefit
opponents
yeah.
are going to get.
You can kind of
So,
guess based on what you see on the card, but you don't know for
yes.
sure exactly what you're going to get.
So here's the cool thing about this game, everybody, is that when you when you're trying to draft this card, it's in a cloud sleeve. And the cloud sleeve will partially obscure some of the things on the card. And you won't know what's on that card until you slip the card out of the sleeve and go, oh, wow, there's a lot of water on this. Or, hey, there's a lot of energy resources on this. And not only that, it's going to help me cull my deck, or it's going to give me a free build action immediately. So, a lot of things that you can take an educated guess, but you might not always get what you think you are trying to go after.
That's right.
So
And so the whole reason to do all of this is to try and upgrade your ship, to try and push your ship out further, to collect better
your
rewards.
airship,
Your airship, and just to
yeah.
collect lots of points in any ways that you can. So there's several ways to go about doing that. So I really enjoyed this one. Finally on the
Yep. So
Cloud Age bandwagon.
you're flying out over this vast wasteland, and you're stopping at cities and trying to fight the cities in order to take the resources. Or you stop at the city and you can't defeat them, but you can still visit them anyway, but you just won't get what they have in the way of resources. So you go back and forth, and you've got hidden goals. I love hidden goals. Um, and you've got resource collection. I love resource collection. You can upgrade your airship. I love, upgrading things with different various path trees. You've got 3 different path trees where you can increase your speed, or you increase your weaponry, or you increase the amount of greenery that you can plant, which will give you other bonus points. And so I think there's a lot of things that makes this work as a good deck building / resource collection game for me. So,
Yeah. We'll probably play that on the
yep,
stream at some point.
fantastic game.
Yeah, I really like it.
So, yep. Um, yeah, I totally got beat on that, but after it was done, I was like, I really like this game.
I have no
So,
idea what your number one is, so that will be interesting.
oh, you don't know what it is? It is one of them that you've already played.
I have a guess, but I don't know what it is.
What do you think it is?
I don't know. I would maybe Hannah Makoji.
No.
That I've played. Oh, it's Cocoa Pebbles.
Now you know what it is. It's Cocoa Pebbles or Cocoa Pelli.
Cocoa Pelli.
Cocoa
Nice.
Pelli.
Hey, that's awesome.
So yeah, Cocoa Pelli, which we have the expansion to play. Actually, we need to play the base game on stream, then we need to play the expansion, then we need to play the expansion on stream. And you know what? There's going to be no regrets here because I enjoy Cocoa Pelli. This is not a standard Feld.
No, it's not.
For those of you who love Feld games, this is not a standard Feld. For those of you who hate Feld games or are lukewarm on Feld games, I repeat, this is not a standard Feld. Is it, Steph?
No, I mean you wouldn't even know. I had no idea it was Feld after playing. I'm like, oh yeah, it
No.
is Feld, isn't it? But I didn't. I would never have pegged it as like, oh Feld. Let me write down Feld. Okay, no, it's very
So
different.
it's so in this game you have cards and a village in front of you on which you are going to play cards, and make your tableau, and your tableau is going to ebb and flow over time. Each of the cards you place in your village, it's basically called starting a ceremony. Each of the cards you place in your village will give you some special ability. Here's the catch. You can not you can start a ceremony in your village, but you can add to a ceremony even in your opponent's village, but only the first half of it. You know, the half of the village that is next to you. Um, why would you want to complete or build up somebody else's ceremony? That's a great question, because whenever you complete their ceremony, they get a victory point. So why in the world would you want to do it? It removes their special power when you do that.
And you
So
get a bonus point. And you get
get rid
points.
of get rid of their ceremony, and then you get the closing points. They get a pity point. All it is a pity point.
Pity points.
Close their ceremonies out. Try your best not to let them close out your ceremonies, but you do need to have some spots open so that you can do new ceremonies at just the right time. Like if you can get rid of all the cards in your hand and you have the little special eagle feather that lets you get 3 victory points instead of 1 when you refill your hand,
I
all
was
the
looking
better.
for that the whole game, and I never
You
got it.
didn't get it.
I
So here's
never
the
found
thing.
it.
Everybody has the same cards in their deck. It's
36
just
cards,
whatever
yeah.
order they come out.
And there's tons
So,
of different mix and match types of cards with abilities, and the expansion adds even more. And so there's like, you can like
right.
mix and match.
So you play with 10 different ceremonies, 10 different ceremony types, but there are 16 in the box. And when you add the expansion, there's going to be even more. So you can mix and match your favorite 10. So we played with the basic 10. I'm looking forward to what all the other ones have in it. So
Yeah, lots of different abilities.
definitely.
I thought you were gonna like
It's
it.
not you know, if you think that all of the Feld games are just dry Euros, check this out. If you like his other things, definitely check it out as well, because you know this might surprise you. So
I like
Phil
Feld's
Capelli,
titles in general. Some of them were misses, but for the most part, I enjoy playing most of his games, and definitely always trying his games. But this one, definitely a keeper. Lots of cool card play going on here. Might be best with 4, but we're gonna try it with 2 on the stream and see how it goes. So
yep. But um, this game is not on your list because you've already played it a long time ago.
It was about a year ago when it was on my list. Whenever it was on Kickstarter, I
Yeah.
played it with Travis at Queen. Yeah.
And your number 1 is
Speaking
not
of
on my list
dry Eurofeld games,
because
another.
I've not played your game that you have on your
No.
list.
And
I think it's weird.
It'll show
I
up
think it's weird.
on your list whenever we play it in a year.
I just think it's bizarre that my Queenfeld game is not the same as
My
your
Queenfeld
number
game.
1 Queenfeld game.
Which
That's
is
bizarre.
number 1, Marrakesh. Speaking of Feld dry Euro games.
Oh my goodness.
This one.
That is just weird. How did that happen?
It looks like Queen took the month. Let's just say Queen Games. They're on it with good titles.
Let me say, Queen took the number 1 spot. Red Raven had 3 of my top 10s.
That's true. But to be fair, you didn't play.
I almost say Red Raven took the month. So
I'm just saying the Queen games are at the top. But we did play some good Red Raven games, that is for sure. And so Marrakesh, I love, first of all, that they are using the cube tower that Queen uses in many of their games, like Wallenstein and Amerigo. I like that they're bringing this cube tower back into play. I think it's interesting. So with this game, it is like, first of all, very, very colorful, which obviously I like. But there are a lot of interesting choices going on, and everybody has these same 12 cubes. In each round, you choose 3 of the cubes to drop into the tower along with everybody else's cubes. And whatever comes out, then you start drafting the actions that you're going to take based on these little cube colors. So, like a blue
What if
action.
nothing comes out?
It's designed to mostly all come out. The cube tower is designed to basically have them all come out. Sometimes there'll be fewer, but for the most part, it's gonna just be all of them.
So you can hope for it. You can't count on
You
it.
can't count on it, right?
Good.
And so it's likely that you'll get what you want, especially if you're first player. But and then you're gonna draft these cubes, and that will give you the ability to take that action. And then your player board has all these different color things that will give you these little different actions that you're going to be doing. And so you're trying to manage everything on your board. Obviously, you won't get everything you need because it just won't work out that way. And so you're playing.
Well, as Scott said, you can't always get what you want, but if you
True.
try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need.
So Dan says, I think experienced players could play without the tower. I suspect it's there to prevent groupthink. Sure.
I don't know. I like the
I like I like the tower.
You
too.
say playing without the tower, that I like the bit of randomness that the tower would provide.
Yeah, me too. You can't
So,
count.
there is that.
But so you're doing all the different things, very feldy things. And so Dan didn't have as great experience as I did, but I really liked it. Obviously, it hit my number one spot. And so I think it really works well. Sure, if you misplay the last round and then you end up without anything to really do, that could be a lackluster last turn or round or whatever. But you know what? It's fine because you're doing everything else during the game to get to the points that you want to get to, hopefully. So yeah, lots.
I'm looking at the picture as you're describing it.
Oh, okay. Anything good?
No, I was looking at the cube tower. It looks like this picture came from the Kickstarter. It's the deluxe edition. It seems to have little player screens and wooden components, and the cube tower, 142 wooden components plus 300 wooden keshis.
The keshis are the little like wooden cubes that you're dropping into the tower.
Oh, gotcha.
And so you're doing
double layer player boards.
Yeah, I mean it's. I'm glad that they decided to do double layer player boards because there's a lot that's going to be on your player board at any given moment, and so that's a really good idea.
Well, it says deluxe double layer player board, so that's might be with the deluxe edition. I don't know about the normal edition. No idea.
Well, I guess we'll find out. But is that still on Kickstarter, or is the Kickstarter completed?
I don't know. Marrakesh Classic. There's also Marrakesh Classic.
It's over, says Dr. Stein. Okay. I mean, gotcha. I hope it's Michael's
Dr.
number
Stein
one.
says, I predict this will be Michael's number one, October 2022.
I'm not sure, but I think he'll like it. It might not be his number one, but I think he'll like it. Coco Pelli definitely feels like a different Feld, so I understand why that was his number one for sure.
Well, I mean, I do like Felds. Now, I'm not crazy for Felds, but
for me, I'm just glad he's moved past Bonfire.
A lot of them I've played.
Because Bonfire was
not like Bonfire.
Not great. I played it a few times, but I liked it well enough. But I don't necessarily need to play that one again. But all of his recent stuff that is coming out, I really enjoy, like Coco Pelli and now Marrakesh. So, Marrakesh is more typical Feld than Coco Pelli. Yeah, but a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
But I did not care for Bonfire. This looks like it would be more up my alley. Sure. I mean, I enjoyed Macau. I enjoy a lot of those, the other Feld games. But Yeah, I worry sometimes though whenever I do find a game like Bonfire that I set myself up with these huge expectations, like, yo, I know I'm gonna love it, and then I'm like, "Mhm."
Well, so unlike so Bonfire has the issue that everybody has to do everything the same way. So
Right.
with other games like Marrakesh, there's no right or wrong way to do something. So you can just go and do what you want. There's no like, oh, if you don't do this, then you're gonna be ruined later on. Like Bonfire has the problem where you kind of need to do what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, and I think that's where I got killed is that I tried to do something different and it doesn't work. Um, I mean, I love Burgundy. I've not played Trajan, but you say I'm gonna love
No,
Trajan,
you've played
so that's the
Trajan.
thing. Oh, did I play?
You've
Oh,
played
let me look at the
Trajan.
pictures.
I made you play Trajan,
Oh yeah, I did play
and
Trajan.
you
I
liked
did
it.
like Trajan.
Yes.
No, there was a long time that I hadn't played Trajan,
Right.
and I was like, yeah, and you had said that I would love it.
And
So
Delphi,
let's see
Oracle of Delphi, you played, you
which of
loved.
these. So Oracle of Delphi, I played that with y'all at Gathering,
Yeah,
and it made my number one. I think
so
it was at
good.
least top three. I think it made number one. Merlin, I have not played.
You'll like
You
it, I
say I'm
think.
gonna like
I think so.
that.
Yeah.
Tuscany, I enjoyed Tuscany as well. Um, oh, Amsterdam is the reimplementation of Macau.
Yes.
So,
Coming out. And then there's
um,
like Bruges just coming out with a new edition too. And Rialto is
yes,
coming out with a new
Hamburg.
edition. New York. So
I have not played Spikerstadt. I have played Pillars of the Earth Builders Duel, and I like that. Pillars of the Earth and no, we played Pillars of the Earth, not
Duel.
Builders Duel.
No, we played the Builder's
Right.
Duel.
Right.
It's the one where you flip a
We did
coin.
play the Builders Duel,
Yeah, there's a little bit of randomness to it, which I didn't particularly enjoy.
and I think I liked that more than you did. So
Yeah. So
so there is
it
that.
was a very Feldy
Oh,
month.
and Aquasphere, I didn't care for it at all. So it's really weird. It's like 2/3 of them I like, and I like them a lot. And there's a third of them. It's like, no, I don't need to play those. I don't need to play that again at all. So
Can't all be winners.
yeah,
I played
but
Jorvik and Sprykerstadt. They were fine. They're good. I mean, it's
I don't know. Maybe
obviously
a third of them
not
is too
something that.
high.
So I think the problem with that is that you really want more than two people, and so it's always hard to find those people because if I have four people, I'm not necessarily going to be like, let's play this right now. You know what I mean? Even though it's
Right,
better with more. So I think that's the
right.
main concern with those games. But
And I've had Spikerstadt for a while now, and just haven't
Strasbourg
ever
is
gotten into the
great.
table.
Strasbourg is great. We should play that. Oh no, you did play that. You did play Strasbourg. I love
Strasbourg?
Strasbourg.
Yes, yes, I
We
did
played
play
that at
that.
BGG Con a while back.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, Feld makes some
yeah.
good
You
stuff. Very
a lot of
excited
times
for
I can't remember it
Marrakesh.
until I actually look at the picture
Yeah,
online.
I know.
I was like, oh yeah, I remember that was
Yes.
good.
Yes.
So it's probably on. I say 2/3 I like, 1/3 I don't. Probably like more like 4/5 I like, 1/5 I don't. So it's not very many that I don't
I'm
like of
probably in the
his.
same boat. Like I've put off playing Rum and Pirates or what Rum and
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is. I put off
Rum and
playing it just
Pirates.
because I know it's like one of his lesser enjoyed games. Rum Pirates, yeah, okay. Yeah, see, Dan says I won't love it, but I have
You
it.
won't
I
love it.
just haven't played it yet.
Yep. Well, it's not on the review shelf, and when it's not on the review shelf, and it's on our personal to play shelf. So here's our hierarchy: stuff with a deadline, review stuff on a deadline, right? Other review stuff, uh, review expansions that we have gotten about 20 expansions from and just haven't had a chance to play. So those go like on the lower tier. And stuff that we want to play that's on our personal want to play shelves. But we always have this stuff that we have to get through.
There's a lot of
How is
stuff.
Steph dissing pirates?
I'm not.
Steph
I
never
just
disses pirates.
it's on the play shelf. It's on the to play shelf. It's not like I'm not gonna play it. I want to play it. I will play it. So yeah, should we run through our top 10 just one more time real fast for those just
Sure.
your number 10.
My number 10, Rolling Realms.
That was my
I'll
number
even
11,
put it all
by
the
the
links
way.
back up here.
My number 10 was Instacrime Casino.
Trying to do the list as we go. My number 9 is Dubious.
Nice.
Which, yep, and I won't say what number it is for you. Defubious.
My number 9 is Yummy Yummy Monster Tummy.
My number 8 is Bequest.
My number 8 was also Bequest.
My number 7, Fantastic Factories.
Nice. My number 7, Dubious.
Defubious.
Newly named Defubious.
Well, only when we play with the Defoob expansion.
The Defoob expansion, yeah.
My number 6 is Rome. Rome if you want to.
Mine is my number 6 is Fantastic Factories.
My number 5 is the one where Steph gets turned into a big ball of ash. The Hunger.
Oh yeah, that's me. My number 5 is, and your number 4 is Now or Never. It's now or never.
It's now or never.
No.
That's easier to do. It's just to put a little your number 4, my number 3.
Yeah, your number 4, my
edit
number.
the link.
No, my number 4.
Your number 4.
Your number 3.
My number 3
is
near and
near
far.
and far. Definitely.
Today we will learn the difference between near and far. I can't even do my Kermit voice because of my stuff.
So that
your
means
number 3
is The Hunger, which is really like deep sea adventure, but with vampires.
The Hunger Game.
It's not The Hunger Games.
Right.
Right. Your number 2?
Our joint number 2.
Our number 2. Cloud Age. Very good, very good.
And my number 1, Cocoa Pebbles.
Cocoa
Pelly.
And my number 1 Felds for the month was Marrakesh. Nice. Solid top 10s. Good list.
We've got a lot of conventions in November, so there's going to be a ton of different games that we are playing. So
someone commented on my New to Me blog from September, and they're like, "You're gonna hit 600 by the end of the year." I'm like, I might.
It's likely.
I might just hit 600, though I'm not striving to do so.
I don't think Senor Azul.
Senor Azul has played one game. So his top 10, his top 1 was...
I played one game.
Do you remember what it was, Azul?
It was that abstract game.
Hamsters versus Hippos.
And, no, wait, when did I play the abstract game?
That was like 2 months ago.
Oh. Well, yeah, I played Hamster versus Hippos. I got second place.
That's right.
You got third. I know I got third. She beat us. Yeah, she beat us. He did not beat Steph this time.
No. I won that game. He did beat Michael. So, yes. That was a good month for October.
Yep, absolutely. Looking forward to November's list. You know, I think Senor Azul should come to BGG Con with us. What do you think?
I mean, if he wants to.
What? Of course he wants to. I want to go travel.
He did go to Orlando.
Yeah, he enjoyed Orlando. I didn't get to go into haunted houses. I know I wanted to take him into the puppet house, but it was really dark and they wouldn't have seen.
Probably no tickets
I was
left.
gonna like I was gonna go into the puppet show haunted house with Senor Azul, and then for him to go to all of the, all the jump scare spots and go like that.
Yeah, all the poor puppets that get torn up in that haunted house. It's too scary
I
for
know,
him.
right? This is very scary.
All right, well, that was our top 10. We'll be right back.
I panic.